Don't look at us differently, but we're both. Yep. We got wizard sleeves.
Anteater penis.
Welcome, CommanderSmiths.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
Happy 3 years, Lowry. Woo!
You've been planning that too, haven't you? I don't know if that came off as smooth as I would have wanted.
I kind of did it. I kind of did it the happy birthday from the Christmas movies. Is it the Frosty the Snowman that does that? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the applause. This is episode 156, which means this is 3 years of us doing this. Not necessarily to the date of when we started, because there's a lot of complications with the first
And we've
episode.
missed 1 week as well.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
1 week, and that was not this fall, the fall before.
Last August.
When we were in Colorado, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was more just because, like, you arrived late.
Yep.
Multiple days
late. It's my
late.
fault. Fine. It's my fault.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that was a fun trip because then they lost my luggage. I had to go buy. Actually, that's funny. I had to buy this shirt that I'm wearing right now, this squat shirt. That was like my only shirt besides what I had on my back. Because then my luggage came like the day before we left, which was awesome. So, cool story, Hansel.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to hear that story, you go back a year and a half from now, and you would have heard it. That's crazy.
Again, what? That it's been a year and a half?
Yeah, since then.
Yeah.
It feels like last year.
I know. But we're approaching basically a year of us not doing this in person. Like,
also true, which is that's weird.
I hear a beer opening. What are you opening there, Lowry?
A celebratory beer of Omni Brewing Company, made in Minnesota. I'm drinking the classic FAD, freaking awesome delicious. It's a New England double IPA, and it is delicious.
I'm drinking what I drank last week because I still had some because I drank Malibu Blacks and Diets all weekend, so I didn't drink any beer. And so it's the Berry Blonde from Lift Bridge. It's pretty tasty. Like last week. Rewind. Back shadowing.
They go bad eventually. Not true, but
So what do we got today on our special 3-year episode? Are we going to do some reminiscing? Are we going to talk about what episodes we like the most and all that stuff?
No.
I
thought, we're doing just our normal
you
setup.
Look like you were confused. You're like, shit. Was
I supposed to prep that? Because I did not. No, we're going to play off of what we did last week. What cards we think we could come off the ban list. Now we're
throwing some shit on.
Yeah. How are we going to say this? Because I don't think we think any of these should be banned. But what could be banned?
Could be banned. For one reason or another. There might be I'll say by part of my list. We both don't know each other's list except for one card we both had put on our list. Some of mine are not necessarily my opinion, but I've heard rumblings of other people talk about it, and so that's
rabble.
Me, more so, I don't think any of these should be banned. Lowry, on your list you'd be fine if they were banned, but you don't think that they should be banned, right?
Correct.
I still wouldn't lose my mind if mine got banned, but I'd just be like, why ban it? It's Commander. It's just crazy, and that's how it works.
Yep. That's kind of my feeling as well. Is like, I think most cards should be unbanned, and I think they've done a pretty good job.
So are we doing a pointless episode right now?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
No, it could help though. If you would have done this a couple years ago, we would have told you What's Its Nuts was going to be
Paradox
should be
Engine?
banned. Paradox Engine, and eventually it did. So we have a good feel for what cards could get banned, and this may help you decide not to pick those up or go deep on them, because I wouldn't go deep on some of these because of that threat, just because that's one way you can instantly lose out on a spec is if Commander goes, banned. Shit, I have 500 of those.
Yeah. Which we haven't done. We spec on bad cards at that high a number.
Right, yep. Exactly. They won't ban my Oath of the Gatewatch ever, so I'm fine.
They won't. They just printed a card that was just 100 times better, but also did that at the same cost.
The one that was in this set where it does the legendary and all that, they killed the card. I thought they killed it when they made Deploy the Gatewatch, which got you 2 Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
And put them. Did they put them into play or is it in your hand?
Yeah, those go into play.
Yeah, so it's really high cost, but that's Commander, and it's like game winner where it killed it at that point.
I mean, and then there's Ignite the Beacon, which is an instant speed that gets you 2 walkers into your hand.
Okay, just stop proving me wrong.
Maybe what we're saying is that we spec'd on the first version of something that has just been buried by better quality cards.
That was one of my first, well, it was my only spec that I went that deep on.
Yeah, you guys were very excited.
I got Trombley to jump on board, and I'm sorry, Trombley. He's like, I'm going to get my duels with once we sell these. Like, we had a whole big discussion about, it's a tutor, and it tutors, idyllic tutor goes up to this, and this is definitely going to do that. 30 cents? Hell yeah. I'll buy 300 of them. Stupid.
Yeah. No. I mean.
No.
Yeah.
Thanks for saving face there, Larry.
I got 20 of them, so I went. That's deeper than I normally go. You guys' hype really brought me along, so I just. Oh boy. Okay, and so we're also doing Smith Savant as always.
As always.
And then as always, as in the last 4 or 5 months. 4 months. I don't know.
Something like that.
And then 1 spec for Dominaria, and I'm cheating on that. So
a little bit, but we've done that before already, where we pick the foils from other sets, not the one that we're talking about. But the card is from Dominaria, and I will allow it. The judges will allow
I asked you, and you said,
yeah.
I was over text, and I was like, yeah, okay, thank you.
Anything fun happened this week? Where you? I personally, did you watch the Super Bowl? Pretty boring.
No, it was a good Super Bowl.
No, it was boring.
Yeah, no, it was a good Super Bowl. The Buccaneers defense did really, really good. Oh, man,
they were freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, why would you say a part of the game was freaking ridiculous and really boring? It doesn't make sense.
It just was boring. No. There's something, I don't know if you had this feel for it, but there's something about this year and with COVID and stuff like that the football season never felt like the football season. Maybe because the Vikings sucked, so I wasn't really invested.
No, this was the first game I watched all year, so maybe that's why I was just excited to watch one half of football. I watched this third and fourth quarter.
Nice.
So,
and the other part is this is the first year I'm not doing fantasy football, so I really didn't have any investment. I just watched the Vikings games and hope for the Packers to lose, and that was pretty much all I did. But yeah, it was interesting. I was actually glad that Tom Brady won in Tampa, because then it just takes it away from
Bill.
Oh, it's gonna piss Ted off that I'm saying, but I just don't like Bill Belichick, and I just feel like he's a pompous ass, and so he's just like I don't know. So I'm glad that it was kind of rubbing it in his face, really Tom Brady is the reason why you guys won so many Super Bowls, not the other way around. But anyways,
I think Belichick is super funny. Belichick. I think he's a gruff, funny man. So.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Let's move on.
All right. Somebody, can you tell me where Bill Belichick touched you wrong, or what?
Maybe it's his sweatshirt, t-shirts, or whatever. His
You're just jealous.
Is cut
you
off.
Wish you did that instead of just doing it to your sweatpants.
Yeah, my sweatpants do that. Maybe that's what it is. I see myself too much in him, and I'm like, I don't like that guy.
No, I don't like myself right now.
Yeah, I hate me. All right. Anything else happened this week? I didn't really have any news. Oh, Cindy's parents' dog ran away.
Oh.
And that was on Wednesday. and he was missing for like 2 days. And this was right before our cold came in, because that's where we were freaking out. We're like, shit, the really cold weather. Yeah, we're getting to minus teens and 20s. We actually got to minus 18 last night.
At night,
actual temperature here. But Cindy, it was Wednesday, because we were at volleyball, and she put out a Facebook thing saying, this missing dog, here's a picture. And then she was just getting it not retweeted, it's Facebook, reposted and all that, liked and all that. They ended up finding the dog. Somebody had picked it up. It stayed at their house overnight, like in their garage. And then the next day they brought it to animal shelter, and they found the dog the next day.
That's
so that's kind of sweet.
That's really good news.
Yeah, so it was interesting, but with the cold weather, it was kind of crazy, because then the next day is when the bottom dropped out, and if that dog was out there, it wouldn't have survived all that.
It's dangerously cold. We're not bringing the kids outside right now.
Yeah.
So the big thing for me this last couple days, which was nice, and I was telling you this Saturday night when we were playing, but so we decided to get like a sleep coach.
Yep.
For Elise, because she's not sleeping. Like, she's taking 20 to 30 minute to like a nap twice a day at 30 minutes, which is not good for a kid like that age. And then she'd fight me for 2 hours trying to go to bed, and then I would just go to sleep with her in bed with me, and that's,
like, fine, fuck it. I just need to sleep.
I was so exhausted. And so I was like, finally, I was like, fuck it, let's do this. Let's get some help. And it was like $300 to do this sleep coach. And they sent us 2 emails reading through stuff. I was like, okay, I could change this. And I did all the small changes that I could do without the coach's help. Yeah. And she's fucking sleeping like a champ now. So
did they actually come over and do something?
They are willing if there is struggles. Generally, if it wasn't COVID, they would start out like that, like one day just to kind of go through it. But some of the changes I did was like just making sure that she was getting more solids during the day, getting her away from little Lowry for like a little bit more extra time, because he's high energy 3-year-old boy. Like, that's what's happening. And so it takes some time for her to calm down to get some good sleep.
Gotcha. Okay.
We made sure that the room got a little bit darker, get some good cues in there to make sure that she was napping. So right now her morning nap is an hour long instead of 20 to 30 minutes. And instead of 20, 30 minutes in her afternoon nap, today she got 2.5 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was wonderful. And then she's sleeping through the night.
Is that when you opened your box then?
This afternoon, yes, absolutely.
When she was taking her nap.
Yeah. Yeah, I was able to do that without just like ripping packs through. I was able to read cards and go, what's this do?
You're like, this is nice. I haven't done this for a long time.
Oh, absolutely. The last 4 days have been rejuvenating. I feel
awesome.
So much better just because I get a little bit of time to breathe.
Nice.
And so...
Well, congratulations, buddy.
So,
I know how that is.
It's definitely been 4 days now. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. That's the whole thing, right? So we'll see how, last night she woke up twice, but we threw our family Super Bowl party and that got wild.
How many people do you have over?
Oh, just our family. The 2 kids and me and the wife. But
nice.
We made cake dip. And Lowry was just, he doesn't get that much sugar, and he was just fucking nuts.
Oh my God, that reminds me. What was that? Was it Zeke's birthday or Drake's birthday? And little Lowry had not had like, you guys were, he didn't get much sugar at all. Yeah. Remember he had the cupcake and he like put it in his mouth and his eyes just got big and he just started shoving it all in his mouth.
Oh yeah.
He was like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever.
He's awesome. He's a candy lush at this point.
Nice. All right. I think that should probably do it. Yeah, I don't really have anything. Yep. Okay. So we have a lot of tag stuff today. So first off, want to say congratulations to, I got to pull it up. We had the end of our Battle Box League, the CommanderSmith Battle Box League, and it really came down to it. There was one game where it was between the top positions. So it was AJ, Trombley, and Tyson and myself in the game. And it was pretty crazy. We went a crazy weekend. There was our Saturday, there was tons of games played. But AJ ended up being first place. Trombley took second, Tyson took third, and then Captain Bunches took fourth. So congratulations, you guys, because those are the 4 top get prizes there. And now we're actually going to be starting
Are you
the
going to hit that
Cal
button?
time.
Are you going to hit that?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
See?
You could just do it.
I was.
I should have done a drum roll for first place and been like, all right.
Well,
but yeah, so we're about to start the next Battle Box League. This is going to be a little different setup. We have put that on our Discord, so if you're wanting to do it, you can jump on there. But we're running probably a month and a half with this one. We still have prizes and stuff like that, but we're going to keep a little more of a gap in between. And we're having a set day for Saturdays. To get in the Battle Box League, all you have to do is become a patron. $1 gets you into the Discord and gets you into the Battle Box League, and all you have to do is open a box, either draft boosters or set boosters, which were awesome. I liked the set boosters. So that's the only stipulation. That's all you have to do. You just have to be a patron for the whole time that we're playing. What else? Oh, we do have a new patron, Chris Morrow. Go ahead, you do it.
Welcome to the Meat Force.
I like how you're doing it in a Jeeper voice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's welcome to the big show. What's that from?
What's that from?
Yeah, it's like I want to say video game or show.
Is it? All right.
I don't know. Maybe it's like EA Sports, NCAA. I feel like that's
yeah. I think I know. Old school stuff, right? Like,
well, they don't have any new school stuff. They haven't had.
That's a good point.
They haven't had NCAA
but I meant like
anything
Super
for
Nintendo
over a decade.
kind of stuff or whatever. But yeah,
maybe.
Okay, so welcome to the Meat Force. You are don't do it. Adam. What are you doing? You're just awesome.
They've already sent us a cease and desist order.
Right. No, that was YouTube.
They did just do that, yeah.
They're like, hey, you can't use that music. It's copyrighted. And I sent them a message. I was like, no, it's not. This isn't copyrighted. And then they sent I don't know. It's confusing as shit.
No, you're totally right. It is not copyrighted.
Yeah, that's they sent back. They're like, we said congratulations. Yeah, remember you said that in the text. Like, why are they congratulating us for censoring us? Like, that doesn't make any sense. All right. So, the other thing is that just started last week. You can check out episode 155, CommanderSmiths Uncut. Basically, Uncut.
We should call it UnSnipped.
Oh, that is good. I'm writing. The joke there, guys, is Laurie and I are. If you looked at, I don't know. Do we ever talk about that on episode?
I don't know if we have now. Yeah.
Don't look at us differently, but we're both uncircumcised.
Yep.
We got wizard sleeves.
Anteater penis.
Anteater. That fucking was that a TikTok video or that thing you sent me the other day of the dude pissing outside?
And then he cut a hole in his sleeve and then he'd stick his head out and squirt water. You
should tweet that out just so if people want to get reference to it. Tweet that out because that it made me laugh so hard. Yeah. I was like, this is amazing. So anyways, so you can check out that episode, CommanderSmiths UnSnipped. That's perfect. And we will do that this week too. We did a little half hour of just banter before we started. So it's just on our Patreon page. You can just click it and watch it there. $5 or more gets you Proxy of the Week. It is going to be Pick Your Proxy month. So if you get in this month, next month when the proxies are being you get to pick your proxy, basically. Yeah. You get to pick any proxy from any time that we have done it. I was going to say one more thing. for this league this time for Kaldheim, the prizes are the 5 mythic gods, and we're going to do a little differently, where first place gets to pick, then second, then third, and then tiebreaker 1, tiebreaker 2. So that is the prizes. So the mythic gods are going to be in this. Okay, so that's it for Patreon. If you want to support the show without giving money, just go to YouTube and subscribe. That's all you got to do. You don't have to watch videos. You just go on there and just hit the subscribe button. Be nice if you watch the videos. We got Proxy of the Week. We will have Spotlight coming. Anything else? Oh, there will be the championship game will be on there. So there's going to be a championship game between Lowry, myself, AJ, and Trombley. So we'll be recording that on Cockatrice, or recording it, and we'll be doing that on Cockatrice and putting it up on YouTube. So we'll have that coming up. Get out of YouTube. We jump over to Twitter, and that's where you say MTG, curated MTG, right? Flip it.
Yeah, curated MTG. Today I chose Dusk Corona. And I
was confused by it at first because I was like, this is really bad. You're still going to get blocked by ground creatures. And then I read your description. And you're like, yeah, you throw this on a flyer and it's unblockable. I was like, oh, good point.
Yeah, so it's an aura that's 1 red, gives a creature +2/+0, and can't be blocked by flying creatures. You put this on any flying legend, and it makes it unblockable, plus a little boost, super cheap. And I think it's only in like 250 decks. And so it was just like, a discussion. I didn't see anybody like it even at all today. So clearly I'm on a roll here.
Swing and a miss on that one. No, it was interesting. If I had if we didn't have a joint Twitter account, I would have commented, because then it would just look like that we're talking.
Maybe I'm just going to start liking my stuff and saying that you did it instead.
You're going to put CSA. All right, so Twitter, that's also where you can find Proxy of the Week and Not Sharing with Adam. And you can direct message us there, or you can shoot us an email at Gmail. So, interesting thing that happened this week, and I kind of want people to do this if they want. We had a listener give us one of the Stump the Smith Savant cards to use, and I think it's brilliant. So I got to give out a shout out to Tony Holinsky. At Tony Holinsky gave us gave me the Stump the Smith Savant. So if you want to do that on Twitter, that's where he shot it to us, or you can shoot us an email. You just got to make sure that Lowry isn't going to be reading it, so you just say attention Adam.
Yeah.
And then Lowry won't read it. So speaking of that, should we just jump right into it, Lowry?
Let's do it.
I got to get to the button. Damn it. There we go. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. Okay. So if you don't know how Stump the Smith Savant works, I will read the flavor text of a card. Lowry is the savant. I am trying to stump him. He is going to take that and try to guess what the card is. By asking questions, I can only give him yes or no answers. Every wrong guess, every no, that means he gets -5 points. I do have clues. That is -10 points. He does start off with 100, and the points really don't matter, but we just do it just so I can make fun of him and see if he gets negative points. So, yeah, fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Got 3 of them for you this week. I think you're going to do well. There is a theme to this week, and how do I want to say this? Here's the only hint I'll give you for the theme this week.
Okay.
It's called shout-outs, because the first one is a shout-out to somebody that gave this to us, and the other ones are shout-outs in a way as well. So I will give shout-outs to each one of these.
Do I get extra points if I can find the full theme?
All but then that makes it harder for me. Then I have to find a fucking theme every week.
I think just this one counts. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right. So first card. So this is from Tony Holinsky. At Tony Holinsky on Twitter gave me this card. So here goes the flavor text.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Step 1, find your cousin. Step 2, get your cousin in the canyon. Step 3, find another cousin.
It literally says that?
Yes, it is. I know, it's brilliant. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, you are a genius. Step 1, find your cousin. Step 2, get your cousin in the cannon. Step 3, find another cousin.
Okay, so I'm going to say it's a red card.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Okay, what? Oh, artifact?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Step 1, find your cousin.
Is it something cannon?
Yes.
Okay. Goblin cannon?
No.
Okay. Mog cannon?
No.
Are there goblins, mogs in the picture?
That was my first clue. Features goblins.
Okay. So I have the
Yes.
picture in my head. It's like a big dumb cannon.
Yes.
And with like wooden wheels.
Yep.
Golly. I don't know when the original set is. I know it's in a core set, like 6th or 7th. I want to say 7th. It has like a white border.
Oh, maybe it is. Oh, yeah, it's a 8th edition.
8th edition?
8th edition.
Yeah.
The original printing is from Urza's Destiny.
Urza's Destiny.
And it is a list card.
That doesn't fucking help. I don't... Okay. I'll take another clue.
Dude, I don't even know how to... You're just missing the first word. So I'll just give you the initials. FC.
Oh, fodder cannon?
There you go.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was pretty... Isn't that awesome? That was step 1, find your cousin. Step 2, get your cousin in the cannon. Step 3, find another cousin.
Well, I accept that because it's not a used or rare card. That's like uncommon, right?
Yeah, it is. Uncommon, yep. All right. The next one I'm not going to name where it's from until after I'm done. But this is the flavor. I will go to any length to achieve my goal. Eternal life is worth any sacrifice. Zur the Enchanter.
Again,
I will
please.
go to any length to achieve my goal. Eternal life is worth any sacrifice. Zur the Enchanter.
Is this from Ice Age?
Let me get the printings all up here. Sorry. Did not have that pulled up. It is from Ice Age.
I didn't think it was Cold Snap. Ice Age. I will go to any length. Blah, blah, blah. Forgot what it said.
I will go to any length to achieve my goal. Eternal life is worth any sacrifice. Zur the Enchanter.
All right. So the theme is sacrificing creatures? Or sacrifice?
Oh, no.
Damn it. All right. Oh, what was the overarching theme?
That shout-outs.
Shout-outs? No, that's stupid. All right. I would go to any length. Is this also an artifact?
Yes.
Artifact from Ice Age. We got... Ugh.
You want your first clue?
Yeah, please.
This card features a tree.
What?
It's its main focus.
Main focus is a tree on an artifact.
I shouldn't say the main focus. It's the prominent part of this picture. It's not the focus of what the card does. I might be giving too much of hints there.
No, you're good. You're being sly. You're doing good at that. It's a tree
from Ice Age, an artifact, and then it says, I will go to any length to achieve my goal. Eternal life is worth any sacrifice. Catch the emphasis of those words there. Zur the Enchanter. There's more hints there. Eternal life.
Zurin's Orb?
Yeah.
Was it?
Zurin Orb. Yeah, Zurin Orb.
All right.
And the shout out is Shivam. He posted that one today on Twitter.
Oh. All right. Yeah, okay,
All
so shout outs ain't going to help me at all if that's what's going on here.
All right, this one is a pretty interesting shout out. So, all right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
They infiltrated deep into the enemy camp under cover of darkness and dirt. Chorus Viashino Warrior?
Viashino Warrior?
Viashino Warrior?
All right, so they
infiltrated deep into the enemy camp under cover of darkness and dirt.
And dirt. So this would be
Chorus.
I want to say is it a Urza's block card?
No.
Either Saga, Destiny, or Legacy? No.
Nope.
So that puts it in, I want to say, Prophecy area, which
There's
don't
only
know.
one. That's one of my clues. Whatever, I started it. There's only one printing of this. They infiltrated deep into enemy camp under cover of darkness and dirt. Chorus. Viashino.
For some reason, I want to say it's like a white card?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, Viashinos are red, so is it a red card?
Yes.
All right. There isn't a whole ton of... Is it an enchantment?
Yes.
Did you hear me?
Yes. Yep. Could you? It is an enchantment.
Oh, I couldn't hear you for some reason.
Oh.
Okay. It is an enchantment. Is it
Yes.
2 red, 2 colorless?
No.
Okay. Okay, 1 printing.
One printing. Remember the theme of this.
Shoutouts.
Shoutouts.
But I'm pretty sure that's not going to help me. That doesn't... it's a red card. It is an enchantment.
It is an enchantment, yeah.
It's something about not being able to like block properly. And so we have the first one was that. Next clue.
The card features an orc-like figure. I think it's an orc. It's not a goblin. It's too big to be an orc. Or to be a goblin. So I'm just assuming it's an orc.
If you can't get it straight, how am I supposed to know?
The funny thing is, these should all be like huge giveaways. You're gonna laugh when you find out what this card is.
So it's a red card.
Enchantment. It has an orc on. It features prominently an orc on the front, or the picture. Enchantment.
It's not a Viashino?
No.
He's not like beating on a drum, is he?
Nope.
It's not like Goblin War drums.
Nope.
That one didn't count. I know.
No. You want another clue?
Yeah.
Its effect mainly affects flying creatures.
It's not my mudslide, is it?
Nope.
Okay, good. Didn't know if you're gonna choose one that I always talk about. Just trick me up a little bit. Okay, it mainly affects flyers.
Yeah.
It's not like Chaos World.
I should say hinders.
It's red.
Yep.
Is it an enchantment?
Yeah, we already went over that. It's an
Yeah,
enchantment.
okay. Well, I'm just double checking.
More specifically, it's an enchant creature.
Did you talk about it back in the UnSnipped?
It's really funny. No,
Okay.
it has been talked about this episode.
God darn it. Did you bring it up on purpose?
Yeah. No, it's you talked about it.
Randomly?
No, it's part of your curated MTG.
You son of a bitch. Is it Dust Corona?
Yes, it is. I thought
You're shouting out me?
Yeah, you're the shout out. These are all shout outs from either on Twitter or whatever. I was like, I'm going to use the card that he posted today because he's looking at it. And we just looked at it. Or I don't know if you pulled it up
I didn't
now.
pull it up. Oh, that is embarrassing. That's a goblin, though. You threw me off.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. That looks like a bigger dude than a goblin. He's more muscular than a goblin. I think it looks like a orc or urukai.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that's probably
funny.
like a giant.
I thought for sure you were going to get that one instantly. Like, yeah, I just saw this one today. No.
Well, I don't read. Okay. No, yeah. You got me. I do feel stupid.
Oh, that's fun. I didn't know how much more I was going to. I was like, I didn't actually write a lot of clues down. It really, because I was like, he's going to get this so quick. One printing. Features an orc, hinders flying. That's all I kind of put on there for that. And then it Planner Chaos, obviously, now that you know what it is.
Yeah.
That's the only set it's from. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. People think it's a bad card. Whatever.
Yeah.
I double checked. Nobody. I got Zero Cool commented on it. And he's like, I agree. Nobody liked it, though. I didn't get any other validation. It kind of hurts.
Well, you got me to make it as a Stump the Smith because I liked it. And so I was like, all right. Well, it's funny because I saw Shivam's post about Zurin Orb. And that's an old school we used to play. I used to play that card. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, wonder what if Lowry's has flavor text. I'm going to use that as my third one. So I was glad that yours had flavor. All right. I guess we don't have an opener, so
Box Chopper!
Always the attack button.
Box Chopper. All right, so in this segment, we are going to talk about cards that we think could get banned. Not that we want to get banned, but there is a possibility that these get banned.
I don't even know if there's. I mean, there's few. I doubt it though.
There are rumblings of people that don't like it for some reason, and so we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Why don't we start off with one that we both know is on both of our lists?
Okay.
So, Hullbreacher. Right?
Yeah. I think it's.
You said this in the beginning when this
enough.
card was.
Yeah.
When this card was spoiled, you were like, "This is bad. Like, this is horrible to have this out because it just
it doesn't feel good for the game. Like, it feels really oppressive.
Yeah.
Right. So, Hullbreacher, if you don't know, it's two colorless, blue, flash. And then if an opponent draws an extra card for any reason ever, they don't draw that card, and you get to create a treasure token.
Well, clarify that a little bit. It's the only card they can draw is the card that's on their draw step. They can't draw any cards that aren't on their draw step. So if it's somebody else's turn, like there's other cards that do this, but it says if a player draws one beyond their first card, they don't draw it. This is the only card you get to draw is your draw step one, and then everything else is done.
Yeah, I think they made it too easy to splash.
Too easy to cast?
Too easy to cast. Too cheap.
It has flash.
The surprise factor can really just be a blowout. And giving blue, it's blue's best ramp card. I could definitely legitly seeing this getting banned.
Yeah, this is probably.
It just seems super
on
unfun.
my list. It's probably the closest one I would say to getting banned on my list. I think.
So
I don't have it numbered that way, but I mean, looking at my list, it's the only one that I'm like, ugh. This could catch it if it gets used. I mean, what if they would have made this, because it's dealing with treasures and red typically does that. What if they would have done it as a red card? Do you think that would be better? Because you're giving it to not as strong of a color.
Would it be
and it's
better?
Doing something that blue does, it does that thing, but giving it the treasure part is kind of a red thing.
Like if you made it like red, blue to colorless to do it, similar to like Notion Thief.
Yeah.
I think that makes it more fair. Instead of drawing a card, instead of them drawing a card, you get to create treasure tokens. Like that seems, it's one more mana in the red department. No, like if you make it just closer to Notion Thief, I think it's like not even talked about as bannable, but
right. It's not a $25 card at that point.
Yeah, it's like $5. Right?
Yeah.
Again, it's pretty easy to kill. Like,
yep.
But
it does get. I know the table immediately, at least with us with League, it gets targeted immediately.
Yeah.
As soon as possible. People try. Everybody works as a team to take out Hullbreacher when it comes out.
But it also is like a better power toughness than Notion Thief. I feel like Notion Thief's just a 2-1, and this is like a 2-3 for some reason.
Yep. 3-2.
3-2. Like
3-2.
It probably should just die to everything instead of being able to, like, I don't know why it's aggressive when it comes to 3-2.
Notion Thief is a 3-1.
Is it a 3-1? So that just dies to everything though. Like it could be a 1-1 and it'd be the same thing. Right.
Right.
So this being,
you're right though. It should have been more like Notion Thief by adding that red because it's dealing with treasure.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest thing. So I think it is a really, really downer play, and there's plenty of downer cards, and with it just being so new, it might be salty at this point, but it is what it is. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I am pretty positive that it at least won't get banned for a couple years. It'll do the Paradox Engine thing where it'll sit there and they'll see how it gets played out. It's a new set. They don't want to ban something in Commander that just came out.
Whatever. They just did for Commander Legends for sure. That'd be
right. I mean, they did that with the
Lutri
companion. Yeah, the companion thing. But that wasn't in a Commander product.
Yeah.
That was separate. That was a standard thing. So this I could see sitting for 2 years, seeing how it goes. If every deck starts using it and whatever, and it's really oppressive, they might ban it. But it is removable. So I think the hard part with whatchamacallit, why do I keep forgetting the brain Paradox Engine is it's an artifact. It's a little bit tougher to remove than a creature, but it's immediate. Like you just need to cast one spell and then everything untaps. This, you're screwing one person right away. Like, okay, here we go, really quick. What if that's all it did? When it entered, it just screwed somebody for that turn. That would be a playable card.
Yeah, it's probably a bad card.
Yeah, then at that point, yeah, that's a good point. So you're at least screwing somebody, and then it gets.
You could do it like until your next turn.
Yeah.
And the extra draw.
We're trying to fix it.
Yeah. I want to fix
Although I like really powerful stuff. So, all right. But overall, I don't think it's going to get banned, at least for the next 2 years. I think they'll kind of see how games go and if it gets used a lot. And it's not about getting used a lot. That isn't the right word or phrase I should have said there. It's more of how the games go when it comes out. If it really gets a player to win most of the time when this comes out.
Yeah. And I also, like, I don't understand like the play design of blue denying draw for other players.
Oh, well, it's Blue's thing.
But
they
it
just
but it
don't want
shouldn't
people
be
to have
like
fun.
blue.
No, they just don't want other players to have fun. So that's what it's doing.
In my opinion, it should be a white effect, like library, Eidolon of the library, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That seems like more of a white effect to me. So, I mean, I can complain about it all I want, but like one of the reasons why it should be in white again is Hullbreacher has in blue naturally has wheels that you can have, right? And in white you don't have that effect, and so it's not as abusable. You need those other colors.
That's actually that point is really good, and the fact that you already have treasures with Smothering Tithe.
Yeah. Yep.
Which leads me into my next possible ban card. Look at that.
I'm glad that you said that. All right. That's actually on my list as well, if you're going to say Smothering Tithe.
So Smothering Tithe. Are we kind of done with Hullbreacher?
Yep,
I think
good.
we were kind of done. Okay. Smothering Tithe. If you don't know what that does, which you should know, it's an enchantment for 1 white and 3 colorless. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If they don't, create a treasure token. So we already have white with treasure. You know, this is one that's used in every white deck pretty much. Mm-hmm. It's going just like Rhystic Study, which also is on my list, by the way.
Yeah, this also on my list.
But it really gets a player ahead. Smothering Tithe. I don't know. Should we talk about Smothering Tithe and Rhystic in the same breath here?
No, I think they're different cards.
Okay.
They're very different cards.
So what is your feel on Smothering Tithe then?
So again, the reason to ban it is that it's just played so much and so splashable. The 1 white enchantment, just totally, it's hands down, no competition, best ramp card in white, right? Mm-hmm. That isn't a ramp spell. You put this in green, and it's a good card. It's still a good card, but it's not like played in every deck.
Right.
Not in every green deck. And so the thing, so that's actually this Rhystic and the other card, the mystery card, I'm not saying until we maybe get to it, is they're the top 100 cards played on EDH Rec. Mm-hmm. And so they are just everywhere. And they're annoying. You're going to pay the 2. You're going to pay the 2. You're going to pay the 2.
That's why we have digitokens, your reminder cards.
It's still annoying.
That's why
it's still annoying. And so I think it's the 2 is almost unpayable in a game. Yeah. Like you almost don't consider it. Nope. Unless you're like, I can't do anything this turn anyway. I'm going to pay the 2. So that I find a problem. If it was 1, way better.
Yeah. But I'll be devil's advocate with this one. White needs stuff.
Yes.
So they gave it. Yep. they gave them a really good card, and the argument that you're having, and which I find correct, is white just plays it. If you have white, it just goes in there. You know, it's like your Soul Ring for white, because white doesn't have shit. But if you're playing white-green, would you still play this? Maybe. I
mean, if you're on a token theme, or you probably don't have some type of sacrifice theme, but
any other combo, white-blue, white-black, white-red, you're probably playing this.
Absolutely in those 3. And white-green, again, it depends, but you consider it. And probably, like if you're 3 colors, white, green, red, I would do this.
For sure. Now, when you were saying the splash of white, what if some of the way to fix some of these cards if it was double white or double blue?
Yeah. Yep. That I think is what it should at least be a little bit harder to cast when it just when you see the cards so often, it feels like, you know what, this should have been. Were we having this discussion on Discord?
Maybe.
So like. It might have been. I don't remember who brought this up. I hardly remember the conversation, but back when Jason Mind Sculptor was in standard and getting banned, it was just with two blue pips in there. They were talking about, like, I remember an article from LSV going, it's too splashable. You can fit this in every 3-color deck with just 2. But Cryptic Command, which was legal at the time, was 3 blue pips in a colorless. And so same mana cost, but Cryptic Command...
because of the 3 blue.
And what is... Jason Mind Sculptor is just pure blue. Like, why was it only 2? Could have been 3. And so when you have cards that are just so purely blue and so purely powerful, they should probably have those extra pips in there. So this could be 2.
2?
And still be played as much as it is, but it'd be better as a cost in that.
That's actually a good point with the if Jace would have had 3 instead of the 2, because think of the Cavaliers. Remember the Cavaliers from, was it M20 or M19? Those are like basically not play. Like, I feel like they're only in monocolor decks because of the 3.
Yeah.
Of each of those, they aren't even they don't. But if they would have knocked it down to 2, I think those would have been a lot better and more used cards than they are.
And so I think you do have to balance that. I don't think you should be throwing like 3 pips on everything. Like, it shouldn't happen more often. But when you clearly have something that is really powerful, like, did they just miss Smothering Tithe being this good?
I think they were just like, it's white, we need to give it something good.
That could have been the case. So, like, I think it being 2 would be fine. 3 would make it tough. You know, you're not fitting this in every deck that has white in it. It's probably in every 2-color deck, maybe.
All right, well, let's move into another blue card that we just mentioned. Why don't you talk about that one? Bring that one
Rhystic Study. Again, this is 2 colorless and a blue. Enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, they got to pay 1 more, or you draw a card.
This one, the cost gets paid a little bit more.
It does. But I think drawing cards is
better
powerful than creating a treasure token.
Correct, yeah.
And so the 1 is payable, like you're saying. Like, if that was 2, fuck. That'd be really, really tough.
The card would already be banned.
Yeah, probably. And so one cost is decent. It's fair. It seems like a relatively fair card. It's very innocuous, right? Like, it hits the table, and I've won games because I remember Jake going, draw a card, and I just won off that. I was like, I'll draw 6 extra cards and just win the game.
And again, with this one, maybe the same argument as Smothering Tithe. If you added a second blue into that cost, it might be a little better.
Yeah.
But still.
It's still
it's really
crazy good card.
So out of those 2, I feel like Rhystic could catch a ban more, but I still don't think either of these are going to catch any bans.
I mean, it's just been around forever. It's a common from Prophecy. Like, it's been around forever. And it's just kind of like, it's hard. Like, it's just a glue piece, right? Like, it's drawing you cards. Smothering Tithe is creating mana for you. So, like, I technically don't have a problem with these types of cards.
I think if they would have added maybe like a colluminative upkeep on it, that might have helped a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like Mystic Remora, adding something like that, adding a little bit of an upkeep, or maybe not a colluminative, but just an upkeep for Rhystic. Yeah, I think that could have helped that. It is during the time when they kind of used that a little bit.
Would this be...
It's not...
Yeah. Would this be better or worse if it was whenever an opponent plays a spell, you can pay 1 to draw a card?
Oh, that'd be fixed a little bit.
Would it, though?
Yeah, sure. You'd have to leave your mana open.
I mean, if you're just like, whatever I have left over, I can just pay that, know that I'm able to do it.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's better or worse, but it's different. It would force you to play slower.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to well, you had something else that was similar, you were saying to those?
So Smothering Tithe, Rhystic Study, both in the top 100. And Adam's going to be vehemently against this one, but also in the top 100, Cyclonic Rift.
I don't have Cyclonic Rift on my list.
This one I think is pretty well hated. It's in a metric shit ton of decks.
Yeah.
And it's, again, this is that splashable part. Like, it's just one blue, and it goes in every deck. And it's essentially the best removal that blue has. There's no competition. And again, I don't think because I think this is something that it's a part of the format. You should expect to have it.
That there's a Cyclonic. Yeah, it's always at least probably mentioned a game. Although it's been kind of nice playing League and not having that threat. Just knowing that's not even there.
Yeah.
It's been kind of nice. I'm not even thinking about it. But in a normal game, if anybody's playing blue, it's like, oh, here comes Cyclonic Rift. When is Cyclonic Rift coming?
Yeah.
No, I would agree. I personally wouldn't mind if Cyclonic Rift was gone. But I do use it because it is my way to, like I've mentioned many times before, I like to have an answer for everything. And Cyclonic Rift is the answer for everything because it hits everything.
Yeah.
They are printing cards that you get around. What was some of the more recent stuff? Oh, it was the dude that turns all your permanents into forest, your creatures into forest. The what's his name? The Ancient Stirring guy? Is that his name?
I know what you're talking about. I just forgot about it. But
yeah, that kind of gets around it a little bit. Teferi's protection kind of gets around it a little bit.
That new angel that we just talked about last week.
Yep. But yeah, if this left the format, I wouldn't be sad.
Yeah.
I'd have to change a lot of decks.
Gotta get rid of that ban card. Yeah, I mean that's the question, is just like, if you got rid of a card, like, does blue disappear? Is it just a power color because of Cyclonic? No. Blue's pretty good. No. And so is it like
the hard part about Cyclonic though is it feels like EDH.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
It just feels too much like this is an EDH card, perfect for this. And if you ban it, where does it ever go?
Was it in our Power 9 from last year that got stolen from Commander Course Corner?
Should I make a fart noise over that sound?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Commander's quarters.
Oh, we've said them enough times that it doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
So
I don't remember if it might have been.
And so again, I agree. Like, I don't think.
Side note, we made that list, and you know what the Power 9 is and what the cards are there. We made the Power 9 for Commander, and we don't even remember what's on them. Like, it obviously stuck. I think maybe because it got a little more bitter because it got stolen right after we did it, but whatever.
Within the week. Fucking Jesus.
But yeah, I don't know. If it got I don't think it's going to, because it's too Commander.
Yeah, I agree. I think when I re-listened to the problem with Cyclonic Rift just to like prep for when we had Combo on.
Yep.
And I think the best solution would be build up cards like Cyclonic Rift, but like variations of it, and then once you got options for it, then get rid of Rift. Because if you get rid of Rift, I think there's a big hole, right? Yeah. And so if you have cards that you can choose from that have those similar things, then I think that makes it better.
Yeah, but then in that time you're having all these similar things, and it's just going to be like, God, there's so much of this shit.
Yeah, there's that too. So,
speaking of another Commander staple, I'm just going to go there. Sol Ring.
You get the fuck out of here. I just dropped my pen. Why would you say that? Take it back.
Just some. I'm not saying it. So this list wasn't based off of things. Remember, none of these cards I want banned. None of them. Because there's some on here you're going to even be more surprised than Sol Ring. I'm just doing ones that people have had arguments with, and I just want to have a discussion.
So we need to, like, I had some concepts for this as well. Let me write those down just so we touch on it.
Did you have Sol Ring on your list?
No.
But you thought about it?
Yeah.
So Sol Ring, the only reason, and I'm gonna knock it down, but the only reason is the same thing as Arcane Signet in 2+ color decks. It's just an auto include. You could almost add in Sensei's Top in this.
Stay away from Top.
But they're just the auto includes, and that's kind of the big argument with people. Now, the other argument that people have where this is wrong, but turn 1 Sol Ring, person have such an advantage that they typically win the game. When in fact it's the other way around. Turn 1 Command Zone did a thing a couple years ago where they took like 500 games from them, from Goldfish, from like all the big podcasts of ones that they had recorded, and they kept track of when Sol Ring was played turn 1, and you actually are at a disadvantage if you play Sol Ring turn 1 because the table tends to turn on you. Now that also depends on your play group. When it comes with us, I don't ever, like, somebody gets turn 1 Sol Ring, I'm like, you fucker, like, just swear at them. That's all I do. I don't keep it mental note being like, that person had Sol Ring turn 1, I need to go after them.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's happening either, though. But I think they get at such an advantage, they go
right. They become the arch enemy, and the table takes them down.
And so if you go turn 1 Sol Ring and do nothing with it for 3 turns, I think you're fine. I think you're fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So just sit on it. So just don't play it turn 1. If you don't have to. I think that's a fine play as well.
So really, I just said Sol Ring to be on here just to have the discussion and kind of say why I don't think Sol Ring should be on the ban list, but it's a card to talk about because people do talk about it all the fucking time. But if you take that and put it on the ban list, holy shit, every Commander pre-con has a Sol Ring in it. Yeah. Like, it's that.
It would be chaos.
Card, well, that card is the epitome of Commander. That is the poster child of Commander. So you can't do that. But I just had to throw it out there.
The thing that I had, and then I tossed it out because it's preposterous, is fast mana artifacts. So not only Sol Ring, but Mana Crypt, Chrome Mox. Even though I said the Moxes would be fine that are banned last week, do you take them off? Would that make Commander a better format? You know what I mean?
So wait. So you unban the Moxes, and then you go, well,
all of them.
Let's get rid of all the... So it's off and then back on.
So anything that's like 0 or 1 mana ramp and artifact, would that make Commander a better format?
So I go the other way with it. I, in fact, think that the more we have, the better. It gets the games moving quicker. The problem with the beginning games is nothing happens at first 3 turns, 3 or whatever turns. If you had more options, if you had more Sol Ring type things like we do, we have the 0 drops and all that, adding stipulations to them. A lot of times when we get a game with our decks, with our play group at least, and this isn't going to be the same for everybody because not everybody has a Mana Crypt or any of those really quick Mono Rocks, but I'd say 2 out of the 4, sometimes 3 out of the 4, sometimes 4 out of the 4, but most of the time it's at least 2 people get a turn 1 something out.
Yeah.
It's either Sol Ring or
I would even put top in there. So like if you went like turn 1 top, Soul Ring or Crypt, and you had 2 of the players, that at least puts 2 of those players on the same like level.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, the more of those, the more likely that it levels the playing field and less randomness to get that crazy good start. That's I think I agree with that. Like the more options you have, the less variant, because you want less burst for one player.
Yeah.
And if you get everybody to burst at the same time or relatively, that's, I think, more ideal. Or nobody, or no burst.
Or maybe you switch it up and everybody just starts with a turn 1 Soul Ring. House
in
rules.
The command zone?
Yeah, it's part of your commander. You only can cast it from, command zone comes
awesome.
out.
I'd be down with that.
That would be sweet. Hey, that's an idea.
Look at that.
Let's do it.
Don't worry about it. Commander Quarters will steal that next week. They're starting a new they're starting their second type of commander after they ban the walking dead. We're starting our sorry.
All right. Okay, so Soul Ring, what's on your list? What's next on your
my list? I just want to scratch this one. I think it's just stupid. I'll sound bad.
Hey, I said Soul Ring. Come on. It was more just to talk about it.
This one I don't. This is like the least likely in my mind. Seedborn Muse.
I did not put Seedborn on there because if we did Seedborn, then you kind of for sure Prophet of Crufix will never come back.
Yeah, and so it just untaps all of your permanents on the beginning of each opponent's upkeep. Again, it's kind of similar to Prophet of Crufix, like you said, and so I think it just kind of allows you to play on everybody's turn if you set your deck up. But I think you do need to set your deck up for that.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with it, but with that similarities with Prophet of Crufix, that's where I was kind of drawing that comparison from.
Gotcha. I see it. I get it. That makes sense. I'm not going to talk much more on that.
Yeah.
I got one that we can have a good discussion on. How about doubling season?
I don't think that's an issue.
No, here's the reason. If you ban doubling season and then change the rules that commanders can or planeswalkers can be your commanders.
I'd be for that.
Because if that's the only thing, I would think they would have to ban if they changed the rules, and that then you could have actual planeswalkers instead of just having the few that they do have. So that was my only stipulation. Everything else is fine, but the reason why, if you guys don't know it, most you probably do, but doubling season, it doubles the counters, and if you're playing a planeswalker that can ultimate turn 1 with doubling season, and it's your commander, that's where it gets a little hairy. So if they banned doubling season and then made it so that you could play commanders or planeswalkers are your commanders, I think that's where you see that get banned.
think that'd be cool. Maybe we could start our own commander variant and call it something else. I don't know.
Dimes and nickels?
Dimes and nickels. What's going on?
Quarters. Commander quarters. The dimes and nickels.
CommanderSmiths, dimes and nickels.
2 dimes and a nickel equals a quarter.
We're going to get a cease and desist from that guy, too.
Yeah,
he's going to hand deliver it to us.
Yeah, because he's in Minnesota. That'd be funny, though. He does a ranting video on us. That would be...
we'd probably get more listeners that way.
We would, yeah.
Do it.
We'd probably get a lot of hate mail, too. Just like, how dare you?
How dare you? All right.
Call yourselves 2 dimes and a nickel.
All right, what do you got?
That was mine.
That was yours? All right, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I should write that down.
What is your next one, Lowry?
Time Stretch.
Okay, I did not even. That didn't even hit my head. That's the extra turn
That's
one,
the
right?
2 extra turn one.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's where my problem is like it is expensive, so like the payoff is kind of big, and or expropriate if you're playing against bad players.
I had thought about that one, but we never play that one.
Yeah. So the big thing is it just like is really boring for everybody else. Like I think it makes games bad. Like if they're going like first turn, casting, time stretch, attack, do their thing. Second turn, and then third turn, I'm already bored and I'm just saying words. Like I think it takes too long for things to happen.
Yeah. The only argument I would say is it's 10. It's 10 to do it. At 10, you're casting game winner stuff. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
So that's my only thing is it just takes too long to just kind of like happen.
Yeah, I gotcha. I'm gonna say a controversial one, and we had talked about it kind of last week, but it's gonna be kind of 2-in-1 because I think I have. How many more do you have on your list?
1 official, and then one new one, then 2 concepts.
Okay, so Gaea's Cradle and Cabal Coffers. I'm doing
Gaea's Cradle was my last official one.
Oh,
no,
sorry,
you're right.
I stole it.
I agree.
We talked about it last week. It's just super powerful. I don't think it should be at all because that would be awful. But
it would be awful. It would hurt my feelings.
it would kill the bit.
yeah, it would.
But wouldn't that be the time that they ban it, Larry? You finally get your copy, and then they go banned.
I'd be like, yep, that's right there.
I deserve it.
So
they're just both really powerful cards.
I think one reason why I think Cradle could be banned is because creature decks can be really explosive, and that I think is what. So like, let's say you board wipe, you can still put out like 4 or 5 creatures the next turn, and then use Cradle for another bonus, right? You can just be so much more explosive. That's where like the enchantment one, like how explosive can you be with enchantments? There aren't. We just got our first enchantment tokens with Nico Planeswalker.
Yep, that's what I'm playing.
And you can get a bunch of enchantments that way, and that's the only card where that is going to happen. But you have plenty of token generators where you're just like, all right, Avenger of Zendikar, boom, Gaea's Cradle, let's go. Like that's just a ton of mana advantage. Cabal Coffers, you're not messing with everybody's swamps, so or their land, and so you're kind of, in my opinion, both those lands are getting around the don't mess with people's mana, like soft deal, and so they avoid a lot of removal when they're. If they're in your play group, you should consider them. Absolutely.
Consider them banned?
No, consider them, like, you got to consider them in your removal package.
Them. Yeah. I have noticed does it seem like they're printing a lot more non-basic hate in a way?
I
wouldn't say a lot more, just that.
Example?
I think what they need to do is maybe make a little bit more, instead of having it on a colorless card, maybe something that creates a color so you can put it in any deck, but then also has hate on non-basic stuff. I guess what my point is more they should print a little bit more non-basic hate, because non-basic lands, there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of good ones, and I think they need to start hitting some of those up a little bit more.
So like Blood Moon effects?
Kinda, yeah. Or destroying like
like a wasteland.
What's some of those? I was thinking wasteland, but what's the other one where it's sacrifice it to destroy a non-basic, and then you and that player go look for a basic land?
Ghost Quarter. Oh
yeah,
no,
I
there's
mean,
there's the new one. I wouldn't play that one though.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you having some more usable cards that can hate on those instead of just outright banning it. Because the thing is it's not only those. There's a lot of good utility lands that probably need to start getting addressed, because don't get me wrong, I love lands. Those are I love lands. I love lands, and I just want to play. They're my favorite, and they just keep coming out with more and good ones, and they need to maybe start to keep them in check a little bit. Not Blood Moon effects turning them into it. Maybe get one for each color.
I mean, I think you have a really good point. Is that like there isn't enough playable hate in our format,
right?
Because mass land removal is frowned upon, kind of like, and then just like spot land removal is not good enough. Like, it's expensive.
Right. Yep.
Like, I'm not going to pay 5 to get rid of 1 land without something else happening. And there are some cards that do that, but like, you're not running Stone Rain in your deck, right? Like,
I did have a land destruction deck, 60 card deck back in the day. Bunch of Stone Rains.
I don't even remember it. That's how bad it was.
How dare you, sir?
So it's a tough one. Like, I've seen, like, there's Dampening Sphere from Dominaria. That reduces it down to like 1 colorless, but that's almost too narrow too. So I don't really know how you deal with that problem other than like
make it a utility land that has
so just more wasteland style cards.
Yeah
or
a flip card
that can kill stuff.
So you have multiple things that you can do.
I'd be down with that. I like that.
So I would say both of those could see it, but I don't think so. I think we need to get a little bit more non-basic hate. There's one, I swear, hang on. I'm grabbing the cards that I just opened, and one of them is dealing with that. Where is it? Oh, so there's one in the Kaldheim. Smashing Success. It's an instant. Destroy target artifact or land. If an artifact is destroyed, you get a treasure token. So I have it on the sideboard right now. Not sideboard, I'm building my Magda deck, but I was like, oh, it deals with giving me treasure and all that stuff. But it gives you options with it. They're starting to... The problem is it's a 4.
Yeah.
It's 3 and 1 red. I think if they would have dropped that down a little bit, this is a
destroying
lot more of a
an artifact
card.
is like 1 red or a red and a colorless. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and that's why they're going to give you that treasure. But
destroying a land,
good.
But then you don't get shit
for you.
Oh, good for you.
Exactly.
All right, let's keep moving because I think we're
okay.
Really long.
So all right, we're probably. I think just came out brand spanking new.
Controversial.
Tergrid, God of Fright. 3 colorless, black, legendary god. It's a 4/5 menace. It has a flip side that doesn't matter. Whenever it's probably kind of good too. But whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from your graveyard into the battlefield under your control.
From their graveyard? From the graveyard?
Put that card from a graveyard.
Graveyard. Okay. I was like, you said and I was like, wait.
So, but this card is crazy. Like, again, It That Betrays is a $20 card, and it's 11 or 12 mana on a big boy with Annihilator, but you kind of play it because it's whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent, you get to gain control of it. This is like 6 or 7 mana less, and also has the part of whenever they discard a permanent card. And so there is at least one black wheel. I think it's Dark Deal or something. But you put this in every wheel deck with black. So your Nekusar decks, like, this just takes all the permanent cards discarded.
This is amazing in, like, Kroxa.
Yeah, it's bonkers in Kroxa. It just steals cards. And if you just work your removal around sacrificing creatures, like, you just gain such an advantage. Like, Death Cloud just was like $1 or $2 is now up to 15 plus because of this card. It's 3 black and X, and everybody sacrifices lands, creatures, and discards cards.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy.
The card is bonkers. And
I really want this in my... I got one. I got one.
Good for you. Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
But that's totally going in Kroxa. That makes Kroxa so good, because if people discard a land, you get the land.
Enchantments, artifacts,
and
planeswalkers, creatures. You get them all.
And Kroxa is if they discard a non-land card, they don't take damage. But if they discard a land, they take damage.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Kroxa, just each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card loses 3 life.
So the only time when somebody discards a card is like instant or sorcery, when it's not. Like, you're still discarding cards.
Right. Oh, yeah.
The card's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but I don't think they're going to...
It needs another card to work with it. I think black only has the one wheel that I can really think of. But it definitely fits into a couple of really popular decks. Mm-hmm. And then it being a legend and building your deck around it seems brutal. Like...
It is monocolored, though, but yeah.
I mean, it's in the sacrifice decks, so the discarding part ain't going to do a whole ton. There is a creature from Odyssey that when it dies, everybody discards their hand. So that is a huge swing. There's cards like Innocent Blood, or there's those zombies that, like, when they come into play, everybody sacrifices a creature. Then you just gain all those.
Yeah. Oh yeah, get it all back. Yeah, that would.
And so, there's just think about like Tormenta Hailfire, that just wins the game. Like not even close. Like, it already was pretty much winning the game, and now you just gain all those permanents and or discarded cards. So I think the card is really swingy.
Tergrid is too good. Tergrid. Ermagerd. It's Tergrid.
So that's where I'm at. It seems, again, on that Hullbreacher level of, like, this seems awful to play against.
It's funny you're saying it, and all I can think of is, like, God, this would be really fun to build a deck around this. I dig it, though. I see what you're saying. All right, so I have 3 left. One I'm just going to hit really quick. It's going to go on the same line of Gaea's Cradle and Cabal Coffers, but the original dual lands I had on here just because of price.
So that hits two of my the last 2 concepts I have of should there be a money limit? So, like, cards over $100 can't be played.
But the interesting thing is, if they go off of money, and let's just say for dual lands or whatever, they go, okay, now it's over $1,000. We're going to ban it because it's, it's too expensive. Then the price is going to bottom out. Not bottom out, but
it'll go down.
Then it won't hold at that 1,000. It'll come back down. So it's like you can't base it off of the price. You can in the beginning. They did with the Moxes, I guess, and all that. Actually, still, I really think out of all the stuff we talked about last week, really wish the Moxes would come off, but whatever. That's another thing. But you can't do that now. Now that you have the rules, and then you can't go, we're banning this because of money, because then it'll tank the price. Not tank it. It's still going to be expensive, but it will drop. And then if your threshold is 1,000, then it's going to go down to 500. You're like, well, now it's under 500. Well, let's unban it, and then it goes back up to 1,000. And it's just going to keep going back and forth.
I'd be okay with that.
So,
no, and then the other concept is get rid of the reserve list out of Commander.
Out of Commander.
So that one doesn't fluctuate. It's cards. All cards can be reprinted, at any point. Maybe we'll just start our own format and call it.
Are you saying, like, they remove the reserve list, or just you can't play reserve list cards?
What's the difference?
That if they took the reserve list, if there wasn't a reserve list, and they started printing dual lands again?
I'm saying
that's a whole other topic.
Reserve list.
Gotcha.
So,
but then you're going to get a lot of crappy cards that shouldn't be banned that are going to be banned.
Yeah, they ban anti-cards and conspiracy cards, and that's fine. I think it's conceptually like. The problem is that cards can't be reprinted. It's not necessarily based on price or based on power level. It's just based on the ability to print them.
Yeah.
So.
But that's why they've been kind of dancing around it and printing things like them. You got your Growing Rights of Itlimoc is a Gaea's Cradle in a way. And now we're getting the dual snow lands, but they come into play tapped, or you have ways of getting around it by not actually printing it.
And that's kind of similar to the idea of the Cyclonic Rift ban, is get some cards similar to it, and then it's not a problem. Or it's just like, then you run duels and all of these other cards.
Right, that's what I was saying. That I was like, during that time before they don't ban Cyclonic Rift, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be like, hey, I just got Cyclonic Rift and Tornado Rift and Hurricane Rift and Whirlpool Rift. God damn, all these cyclones
and Aetherwind Rift.
Okay, let me just throw these last two really quick. Yeah. Okay. So the last two are, I had Oko, Thief of Crowns, because it shuts down commanders.
Yeah,
was the main reason why I had that on there, and it's only a
I don't
drop
have
for that to do that.
There's plenty of cards that do that.
Yep. I'm just throwing things out there. And then the other one was Teferi, Master of Time.
The new one?
Because it's also playing off of other people's turns and drawing cards and all that fun stuff. I love it, but I just wanted to throw it out there as an option.
I think it's good. I love the card.
Oh, I love it to death. That thing is amazing. But is it too good?
Could it get?
Yeah, I mean it's really good. Play.
I don't know.
You have protection on it. Phases out. 2 extra turns. There's your fun part right there. It's ultimate. 2 extra turns. You're just trying to get rid of a card that did that.
I mean, this is a lot more work, but yeah. I think it's soft. I think there's a reason why it's at the end of your list.
I didn't put them in any order. This was the top. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just wanted to throw ones that were, reason why Oko is just because it shut down. Yeah,
these are your Seedborn Muses.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Let's move into.
I think we saved the.
Damn it! I played the wrong one.
One
Spec.
to rule them all.
Did you play the shorter one? Just
I was trying to, and I actually, I thought I had it right.
And in the darkness, find
It's already so long.
All right. So, which set are we picking from?
Dominaria.
Dominaria. Since I did those dudes, why don't you do your stuff? I did the Planeswalkers last there. Oh, I got to describe what this does. One spec to rule them all. We are doing here is we're going set by set, picking a card out of the set, and we are actually keeping track of that. You can check that out on the Discord, or it is only on the Discord right now. So if you are a patron and you want to jump on the Discord, let us know, because then you can see the list there. But picking a card that you can put all your money in on, and we think that that card has the best chance to go up out of any of the cards in that set. So each of us are picking a different card. We can't pick the same one, and that's where we are. Okay, Larry, what is your pick?
I needed you to stall a little bit longer. Just there. Okay. No, we got it. Okay, so I am going with Muldrotha the Gravetide from Dominaria, originally printed, but I would go with Commander Legends Etched Foil, which is going for $7 to $8. Yeah, I know. It's $7 or $8 in Etched Foil, which is, again, fantastic. And then the normal price of, non-foil, non-etched is $7-ish for that and the list from Dominaria and the list. And then the foil pre-release was sold out at $30 over on Card Kingdom. So I think the upside of the etched foils
it's huge.
Are huge.
Yeah, I mean, think of this. You have Dominaria foils of that. You're saying that they're over 30. They have been approaching 40 at one point. And you're looking at the foil etched at 10, and I think that's the better version of this card.
Yeah.
It can only go up to that, if not higher.
This has 4,885 decks made with it.
As the commander?
As the commander.
Okay.
Let me see what as card is, because I think this is a good, if you're in a green, black, blue deck, it's a good, it's in 6,508 decks.
I was going to say, because
it has 10,000 decks.
Yeah, I use this in the, what's his nuts that doubles?
Yarok.
Yeah, Yarok. Yeah. And, side note, the pre-release foils at one point were up to 90. So there's that.
Yeah.
And we're at 50 for a long time, from July to October of last year.
And now these reprints have kind of taken some of that control, but
the foil etch stuff if you haven't seen the foil etch, they look fantastic. Yeah. And they don't have the curving problem that the rest of Commander Legends does with foils. So yeah, I think I am gonna pick some of those up.
And the normal foils are like $20 from Dominaria. So there's I think there's some potential in those numbers that you're saying with the pre-release foils, because it seemed 80, 50. Now they're sitting at like 30. But I think that etch foil, if you can snag it for under 10, that's an easy double up to 20. But again, etch foils in my mind are the premium. They look beautiful, they don't curve, and that's a $30-$40 card in the long run, as long as they're not reprinting the Muldrotha in the etch foil.
Right. Which, no, I think this is the only time we'll see that. I think we'll see foil etched again, just not Muldrotha again.
Yeah. I can agree with you on that.
All right. So you're saying 10 to 20 plus?
Yeah, this is a double up.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yep.
So, and if you're specking on it, I would easily hold out until $30.
Oh yeah.
So,
and I would say it also depends with the Commander Legends stuff. If they don't get that second or third shipment that they were saying they were getting of the collector booster boxes, they're going to go way up a lot more because they didn't get as much product out as they were thinking they. Which
blows my mind on like planning. Like they know that Commander drives a ton of product, and then they just don't deliver.
Yeah,
and the shit is curved. The foils are fucking ridiculous.
We should note. Did you try the thing that Fast Finance James Chilcott mentioned about that article?
No, I haven't been doing it at all.
It worked pretty good. They still had a little bit of a curve.
But they were like too normal.
But it got more flat, you do like a little humidor thing. You could do it with a cigar box too if you wanted to. But
So it just seemed like spray down some paper towels, lay it there in a box, and then have some type of platform.
Yeah, so I use the little
off.
casing that Card Kingdom gives you when they send you cards, the little plastic thing.
Yeah.
I put that right in the middle. And you have it in there for 20, 30 minutes, and then the card starts to bend the other way. Once it starts to curl up, then you take it out and you just let it dry out.
Then it's just wavy.
Yeah, but then you drop it put it under books, and then afterwards. It wasn't completely crisp flat, but it was a lot better than it was. Like, noticeably better. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Sorry. I still think it, like, how fucking ridiculous Commander Legends foils were. Like, that was insulting.
Well, yeah, I mentioned that, a couple weeks ago about Card Kingdom doesn't even take the full art foils, like, for trade-in.
Are they even taking any of those foils in?
Everyone that I try to look at, they're not taking any of them.
I wouldn't fucking touch them.
Yeah.
That's so much work to, like, make it
not curly,
playable.
Yeah.
Right now I bought a foil Obeka, and I have it under the deck sitting there. So it's just like having pressure for the last 3 weeks. And I looked at it today, and it's curving, it's double sleeved, and you can just fucking in the sleeve, it's just curved. You're just like, it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, pressure does nothing.
Try a couple with the commons and uncommons, and you just have to get the right time of what you have.
I just started testing, looking at the idea of what Guy said was just like blow into the sleeve a couple times and then let it be. So like maybe that kind of just traps some moisture in there without having to, because I'm not playing a whole ton with these cards, but I just don't want them to fucking
turn into
like just arches. They're ridiculous.
And
they're strong. They're stiff curves.
Yeah, they are. It's funny. We have to do work to get your cards flat. That isn't necessarily a good thing.
I don't think that's good.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good. So,
all right. My one spec has something very similar to a card that I just said that I kind of wanted or didn't want banned, that I put on the potential ban list. And it's Cabal Stronghold. Does similar thing that Cabal Coffers does, except they made it not broken. So this is a land. It comes in. You can tap it right away for a colorless, or you can tap 3 and tap it and add a swamp or 1 black for each basic swamp you control. So Cabal Coffers is 2 and tapping it for each swamp in play. Is it in play, or is it you control?
That you control.
But it's not basic swamp. Mm-hmm. So, but this takes in, it doesn't have the just tapping ability that Cabal Stronghold has. I actually spec'd on this one a while back because one of either somebody from our Discord or it was a patron mentioned it. I don't remember who, because it was
Zero really likes it.
It might have been Zero that mentioned it. It was when I was still in the camper, because I remember being like, oh, I got to pick up those. Yeah, I think it was Zero actually. So I picked up just a handful of them before, and I picked up a few more now that it has gone up a little bit since I bought it. But the Non-foils are at 4, and the foils are at 6. So they're
that's not a big difference.
Yeah, they're really close. This is in 16,000 EDH rec deck, so it's used a shit ton.
Yeah.
I can see the non-foils, if they don't catch another reprint, getting up to 10. But really, I would go jump that $2 more, because I think that those will get to 15 to 20. There are 3 foil printings, so you have the Dominaria, you have the promo pre-release, and the promo pack from the core set with the Planeswalker stamp. I believe the regular Dominaria ones are the cheapest. The ones with the Planeswalker stamps are the most expensive, which is different than what we've been seeing. We've been seeing that be the cheapest, but for some reason, in this case, those are limited supply. There was only like 10 copies, if I remember, left, or maybe even less than that, and it was a couple bucks more than the others. So every black deck, mono, potentially 2-color decks are probably use. I mean, it's 16,000 decks. That's a lot.
It's used a lot. Yeah.
So it's the poor man's Cabal coffers, and it's good.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that basic swamp part makes it fair, but it's still, it's just an extra swamp. It goes in every mono black deck.
Yeah.
I
could even see 2 colors, though, like I was saying. You could potentially play it in that, but it gets a little tough because you're tapping 3 and then trying to hit the swamp. So, maybe not.
You would have to have 5 basic swamps to just get by.
Yeah.
So, but it goes in every mono black deck.
For sure. And I think again, it's the utility part of it. At the very least, it's tapping you a colorless. So if you can't hit it, you're not getting screwed. That's the one downfall with Cabal coffers is you have to tap the 2 to get it. But most of the time you have that. So it normally isn't a problem. So, all right. That is one long-ass episode.
Woo!
We did it, Lowry. 3
We did it.
Fucking years.
3 years.
We should
just think of everything that we have done in 3 years.
I'm afraid to go back to like our first 5-10 episodes to listen and see how bad it is, but I really want to at some point.
Well, I will echo what my wife says constantly is
it in yet?
I can't no. I can't believe you guys still have stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
It's just magic, right? What else are you talking about?
Stuff and things. It's
stuff and things.
We just bullshit. Bullshit. All right. Well, that should do it for this week. This is 3 years. Hopefully we do another 3 years. I don't see us stopping anytime soon. So
yeah. Just want to thank everybody for listening and enjoying the podcast, and that's everything.
I was just going to let you go with that. I wasn't going to jump in at all. I just wanted to see how that ended because I could tell it was just going to be a trail off, and that's all I have to say about
that's
that.
It. Just thank you. All right. Normally, when you're thanking somebody, they can thank you back or whatever. There's that little bullshit that goes back and forth, but since you're just speaking into the void, it's pretty hollow. You're just gonna let me keep talking again.
All right, that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Take up. It's just like
I'm
just gonna let him keep going because I don't see how he's